Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Kelvin here. One of the most asked questions I get is this: what am I using to invest? And I've answered every single one of them because I care and I want you guys to use the best brokerage in my opinion. I've been doing this over many months, and one day I woke up and I suddenly realized, why not just make a video to answer you guys instead? So in this video, I'll be sharing my secrets, like all the investment guru secrets. Just kidding, there are no secrets at all. I will gladly share all my tools with you guys because it will help you out. I'll be sharing what am I using to invest, how do I track my investments, and where do I do my research. So without further ado, let's start. What am I using to invest? For overseas stocks, I'm using Interactive Brokers. That's because they have one of the lowest fees for overseas stocks. They charge a minimum of $1 per trade, and their currency conversion is quite good. However, a downside is that for accounts lesser than $100,000 in assets, Interactive Brokers will charge $10 a month, which can be offset by trading commissions. Now, when compared to Tiger Brokers, which only charge 0.08% and do not have a monthly fee, Tiger Brokers does seem better. However, a good point about Interactive Brokers is that they have access to London Stock Exchange, while Tiger Brokers do not have. This is super useful when you need to buy Ireland domiciled ETFs from the London Stock Exchange. It's because if you buy stocks from the US markets and you receive dividends, Uncle Sam will take away 30% of your dividends and give you 70%. Kind of like our pay in Singapore, where CPF takes away 20% of our pay. All jokes aside, to avoid paying 30% tax on your dividends, you can invest in Ireland domiciled ETFs and only pay 15% tax instead. For example, rather than buying REO S&P 500 ETF from the US market, you can invest in REUSD from the London Stock Exchange. Or rather than buying BGT Tech ETF from the US market, you can invest in SSLK from the London Stock Exchange. They are about the same, but you get to save more money. Kind of like McDonald's versus Ramly Burger. To cut the long story short, I choose Interactive Brokers for overseas stocks because they are super cheap and I want to be able to buy stocks from the London Stock Exchange. Next, for Singapore stocks, I'm using Standard Chartered. Standard Chartered is not the cheapest. You might ask, why are you using Standard Chartered? You're too rich, is it? The reason I'm using Standard Chartered is because when I first started investing 4 years ago, there was no Tiger Brokers, and the cheapest was Standard Chartered at $10. So I just use it lor. But recently, Interactive Brokers started allowing Singaporeans to buy Singapore stocks. Therefore, I'll be moving my Singapore stocks to Interactive Brokers because I already have most of my investments with them. For tracking Singapore stocks, I'm using a website called Investing Note. Investing Note is a Singapore-based social stock trading platform. The reason I'm using it is because they are able to track profit, loss, and dividends separately. For example, I can see that a huge part of my Singapore stock returns are from dividends. They can also tell you when you will receive your dividends and how much. But this is just a small part of Investing Note. They are more well-known for their social features. Here, you can talk long, talk short about stocks with many other Singapore investors and learn from one another. Now, a downside to Investing Note is that their stock prices are delayed slightly, but it shouldn't matter too much because Singapore stocks move much slower than US stocks. Next, for tracking overseas stocks, I prefer to use an app called My Stocks Portfolio and Widget. That's because their stock prices are updated real-time whenever you refresh. The features here are quite simple. You can add a buy-sell transaction, dividends received, and even a stock split function. You can pay money to remove ads as well as auto-sync across multiple devices. However, I find that the free version is good enough for me. So that's how I track my investments. Next, how do I do my research? For many newcomers, investing will seem super complicated, and many people will recommend you to read investing books like The Intelligent Investor, One Up on Wall Street, The Essays on Warren Buffett. But here's an unpopular opinion: avoid reading investing books at the start because I tried it and I find these books to be super dry, like Asahi. Instead, only read these books when you have some sort of experience in investing. That way, you will understand the concepts much better. Also, don't go for investing courses. Unlike what many investing gurus claim, there are no secrets to investing. You don't have to pay hundreds or thousands of dollars to learn stuff that are free online. So instead, let me show you how I learn investing. The first source is of course my videos. No, but seriously, if you guys have any topic that you want me to talk about, comment down below and I will try to plan it out. Other than my channel, you should watch other investing channels. If you go to my YouTube channel, click on channels, I've included some of the channels which I'm constantly learning from. I know it's weird that I seem like I'm recommending my competitors, but instead of viewing similar channels as competitors, they are actually my YouTube colleagues, right? We all just want to teach people how to invest and manage their personal finance. For example, Graham Stephan, Andre Jake, and Meet Kelvin are from the US. They talk about stocks, how to manage your personal finance, and sometimes even real estate. Then you have Invest with Stanley and the fifth person who talks about Singapore stocks. I also highly recommend Chicken Genius, who teaches how to invest in a way so that you can get the highest returns possible. By the way, if you have any channels to recommend, you can share them to me, and if I feel that the channel is good, I will include them in the list. Also, here's a trick I like to use. When researching about stocks, I normally start in YouTube first. For example, maybe Neo, I can either try to figure out the balance sheet, company future plans, and all the boring stuff, or I will just search in YouTube, which is much easier. Most of the time, you'll get really good analysis from many different YouTubers who are frankly so much better than me at analyzing companies. A huge tip is to be neutral and try to listen to supporters of the stock and critics of the stock so that you'll get pictures from both sides. Next, other than YouTube, you can also read blogs. A very good blog that I recommend is Sidley. They have lots of useful articles on the stock market, comparing the cheaper stuff and sometimes give you good lobangs. It is also useful to discuss stocks with real people, and this will be a very good time for me to ask you to join my Discord group. We discuss about personal finance, stocks, and investing. You can join through the link down in the description below. Besides my Discord group, you can also join forums for stock discussion. On Reddit, you have some really good subreddits like Stocks, Investing, and Singapore FI. The people in there are generally helpful and will try to answer your questions if you ask nicely. You also have Hardware Zone. You can join Money Mind, and the second is Stocks, Shares, and Indices. I'll just leave all the links down in the description below for you to check it out. Last but not least, if you have any questions, remember that Google is your best friend. If there are anything that you want to find out, just search in Google. 99.99% of the time, you will be able to find the answer. For example, if you want to find out what is the best Singapore broker, just search in Google and you will find your answer. Or if you want to find out whether SIA is a good stock or not, just Google it and you will have analysis from many sites. I feel that it is much better than just asking me, because sometimes I may be wrong or maybe I have outdated information. And that's all for today. Hopefully you find this video useful. Like, share, and subscribe as I'll be posting every Monday and sometimes Friday.